Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Boo Youth Edition.
So today we have the pleasure of speaking with Jared Deonarine and his lovely wife Elizabeth. Jared, a dedicated servant leader who has spent the past 33 years involved in sports outreach. His mission has been to bring Jesus into the world of athletics, impacting lives on and off the field. Jared Deonarine is also the founder of Trinity Sports Group, an organization committed to this important work. So, Jared and Elizabeth, thank you for joining us today. So, the first question is, can you both share with us your why? What drives your passion for outreach ministry, sports outreach ministry?
What really drove me is because I grew up in playing sport from a young person. Obviously, in growing up, I do have a Christian background and so on, but I got saved like around the age of 22 or something like that. And so when I got saved, I just, the idea of utilizing sport as a ministry tool was really built in me as I started to grow in the Lord and so on. So it was a combination of a passion for God and a passion for sport that really helped to bring me to this place right now. And it had a lot also to do with the fact that the church that I was attending at the time was very evangelistic, and we had a church football team, and that helped to enhance the desire, and that desire eventually became a calling. And so in doing that, I just really started to seek God in terms of how I could really develop more knowledge in the area of sport missions, and that sent me online and getting connected with different persons outside of Trinidad and Tobago and outside of the region. And after 33 years, here I am today with my own sports outreach organization, and having served in a number of different sports outreach events and working with sports outreach internationally, regionally, and locally. So that's basically my why. I passion for the Lord and a passion for sports.
Right.
Okay, so in my case, I wasn't into sports. However, I came to Trinidad in the year 2000 with the interest of learning how to speak English. And I became a Christian a few months after I arrived to Trinidad. Well, not even a few months, I came in June, and in July I became a Christian.
Right.
And following my studies of English, I went to the Open Bible School of Theology, and graduating from that, I did social work as a career here. So I always had, while being in Bible school, I did specialize in the area of missions. It was an emphasis on missions. So I always wanted to be outside of the church, working, not within the four walls. While studying my career in social work, I met Jared at the university there. That was Caribbean Nazarene College. So we became friends. He had interest. I wasn't all there, but he always would share with me what he will do when he goes to Mexico and all these countries. So I always found what he was doing was very interesting. So after we became married, we found out about my countrymen who are here because I am originally from Venezuela. So they were playing baseball and kicking ball. So we would go to Arima and visit.
Right.
To go to the field. So when I saw what was happening there, I recognized that was a way how I could also contribute to my community. And I told Gerard, you know what, I would like to be what we will call it, a life coach to these girls, and be able to use the gospel to use sports to share the gospel. So that is what really motivated me. That is my reason for being in sport, to support him and to also be able to reach the Latino community, the migrants here, through the medium of sports.
That's a beautiful story there. It's a really good story. So, Elizabeth, I know it was shared that you are bilingual. So, what has been that experience in bridging or crossing borders?
Well, I think because of being bilingual, that has made it quite easy. So it's just about interacting, developing the relationship, and using the both skills, language skills, to be able to communicate what we want to communicate. So in my case, it has not been difficult. It's very smooth.
Yes.
And because of my Venezuelan background, it has been easy for me to connect with the community that is here.
Yeah, especially now that we do have a lot of Spanish people, so it really works hand in hand for real.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So-
So it has been God has been good. He has been, allowing us to connect with people, and also through my social work background, I use that also to be able to engage people and be able to reach them. And we try to reach them at the point of their need, and then use the gospel to reach them for Christ.
Yeah, sounds like a perfect match right there. Jared, over the years, you have worked closely with coaches and athletes. So what has your experience been like working with them, and what are some of your highlights you have seen?
Okay, so it varies from environment to environment. So locally, coaches here are open to having a Christian presence on their teams.
Right.
Fortunately for us now, that has been the trend so far. When you have to go abroad, it would vary a little bit depending on the environment you're in, because not all environment they are open and they're willing to have that type of presence, and that has a lot to do with the culture of the sport itself and the culture of the persons who they play in the sport. And so but for here it has been a good how to say, I want to see sports as a bridge builder, and I keep talking about sport as a bridge, and so it does help you to be able to get into some areas that you're not, or be able to be connected to some people that you normally wouldn't be able to have that opportunity to do so. But so as I said before, it would vary from geographically, and it would vary especially based on the sport and the persons who are involved in this
target population.
Yes. Yeah. So could you tell us more about the services Trinity Sports Group offers as part of its sports outreach program?
Right. So we have three areas or three sports outreach services. So one is school sport ministry, where we work a lot with secondary school student athletes, all right, and so we have a character coach. We have something called the character coach program, where we train, I should really start in terms of our onboarding process. We recruit, train, and assign persons to work with secondary school sport teams. And so those persons work in terms of helping to do Bible studies, mostly team sports, and helping to do things like Bible studies and pray with the team and those sort of things. So that is essentially what the character coach. They also do some sport related things too, like working in areas of team cohesion, helping with dealing with some personal issues, counseling, that type of thing. So that is school sport ministry. The other thing that we do is something called sports club chaplaincy, where we again recruit, train, and appoint persons to work with some of the top football clubs and cricket clubs in the country. And then the last thing is with sport project management, where we work with two areas within the sport project management: migrant community sport, working with primarily with the kick and ball clubs, which is a female sport, kick and ball, right? And also working with churches who want to use sport. Well, not just churches, but churches, other Christian non-profits, those sort of other stakeholders who want to use sport to reach persons in their community. So sport project management, sports club chaplaincy, and school sport ministry. Those are the three things.
I think for me, sports evangelism is so important because majority of young people these days, when they are going through a lot of stuff, either home or in school, they use sports as an escape. And when they're playing football and they're frustrated, there we have sports evangelism where they could still know the Lord, because sometimes they're not going to volunteer themselves and come to church and go to RI sometimes and whatnot. And if they could be able to still hear about the Lord in something that they love and they escape, I think it's really amazing. Personally, I would love to see that, or loved to see that when I was in school, but I do admire what you guys do because it is very important, and being able to touch lives of people in sports is also very important. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for answering the questions, and hope to see you guys again.
Okay, well, thank you for giving us this privilege and this opportunity.
Yes, of course.
Yes, thank you very much.
Let's Talk Breakthrough UT Show is brought to you by Enterprise Pentecostal Breakthrough House.